So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, the purpose of this lecture series is very simple. We want you to revise your current affairs, and side by side, we want you to get that revision from the much needed MCQ practice because that would come in really handy for your next year's prelims examination. So make this lecture series a daily habit of yours because through this lecture series, you'll be able to cover your entire year's current affairs through MCQs. Okay? All right. Let's start the lecture with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding naming process of tropical cyclones. The procedure for naming a tropical cyclone is decided by the relevant regional bodies of World Meteorological Organization. There are 13 countries in WMO ESCAP panel on tropical cyclones, which is responsible for naming cyclones in Indian Ocean region. The supreme body of WMO is its 36-member executive council. Okay. Now, why was this issue related to or this topic of naming of tropical cyclones in the news? Well, because it is said that cyclone Fengal is going to hit Tamil Nadu's coast very soon. Now, who gave this name to the cyclone Fengal? Well, it was Saudi Arabia, right? Now, what is the procedure of naming tropical cyclones? Okay, so basically, World Meteorological Organization has 5 regional bodies representing different regions. One such body that represents Indian Ocean region is WMO ESCAP, Economic and Social Council of Asia, Commission of Asia Pacific. Okay, now this WMO ESCAP represents Indian Ocean region. So all the countries that border Indian Ocean or share their coastline with Indian Ocean are part of this. Okay. Now this regional body of WMO is responsible for naming all the cyclones in the Indian Ocean region. Okay. Now this WMO ESCAP has 13 countries which include Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Yemen, Iran, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, okay, Pakistan. So all these countries are member of this, and these 13 countries under WMO ESCAP have decided a procedure for naming cyclones. So whenever a cyclone comes, it is named as per the procedure prescribed by this panel. Okay, so this part is correct and this part is correct. Now, World Meteorological Organization is a specialized agency of UN. It was established in 1950 and its headquarters are in Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, now as far as its organizational structure is concerned, so its supreme body is World Meteorological Congress, which meets every 4 years. Then annual working is taken care of by Executive Council, and day-to-day working is taken care of by Secretariat. Okay, so the supreme decision-making body of WMO is World Meteorological Congress, not Executive Council. So this is false only to B. Okay. Question number 2. Which of the following statements is our correct regarding Siddi community? It is an ethnic group of mainly African descent whose ancestors came to India through slave trade centuries ago. They are recognized as scheduled castes in some states of India. Largest population of Siddhis live in Karnataka. Okay. So who are Siddhis? Siddhis are people of East African descent. Okay. There is a tribe in East Africa called Bantu tribe, okay, which inhabit the regions of Somalia, Ethiopia, Kenya, and whatnot. Okay, so many centuries ago, people from here migrated to India and Pakistan. They were brought here as part of slave trade. Turkish rulers of India, Delhi Sultanate rulers of India brought them, Deccan Sultanate rulers of India brought them, Portuguese brought them to Goa. Okay, so these people are descendants of African, East African Bantu people. Okay, so this part is correct. They came centuries ago, that part is also correct. Now, Government of India in many parts of the country recognizes them as scheduled tribes, not scheduled castes. Scheduled tribes. Okay, so in some districts of Gujarat, some districts of Karnataka, some districts of Goa, they are recognized as scheduled tribes, not scheduled castes. Okay. Now, Siddhis live in India and Pakistan, but the largest population of Siddhis is in the state of Karnataka. This part is correct. So 1 and 3 only. Okay. Question number 3. Consider the following statements regarding permanent account number. It is a 10-digit alphanumeric identifier issued by Income Tax Department. Okay. PAN 2.0 is an e-governance project that will give technological upgrades to PAN cards. Existing PAN card holders will be given 6 months to upgrade their cards to PAN 2.0. Okay. So currently Government of India has launched PAN 2.0 project. Okay, which would upgrade the existing PAN cards, or which would bring technological upgrades to PAN cards. Okay, it will have a QR code, it will have a cyber security features and whatnot. Okay, so this is PAN 2.0. But what is PAN card? So permanent account number is a 10-digit alphanumeric number that is given to you by the Income Tax Department, and this is mandatory for filing income tax returns. Okay, so this part is correct. Now, upgradation of PAN cards is an e-governance project that will give tech upgrades to PAN cards. Absolutely correct. Now, with PAN 2.0, government has said that the PAN card holders, the previous PAN card holders, their PAN card shall remain valid. Okay, this is not correct that existing PAN card holders will be given 6 months to upgrade their cards to PAN 2.0. No, previous PAN cards shall remain valid. Okay, they will be given a choice to upgrade it. But if they don't want to upgrade it, that's their choice. So this part is false. Okay. Question 4. Consider the following statements regarding United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, UNFCCC. Kyoto Protocol of 1997 gave rigid greenhouse gas emission reduction targets to developing countries. Under Paris Agreement, developed countries were made solely responsible for global greenhouse gas emission reduction. COP29 at Baku, Azerbaijan was not successful in ideal solution to the issue of climate finance. Okay, which of the above statements are correct? Now, under this convention, in 1997, a protocol was signed which was called Kyoto Protocol. Under that Kyoto Protocol, the main responsibility of fighting with global warming by reducing greenhouse gases was that of rich and industrialized countries, developed countries. So, developed countries were given ambitious greenhouse gas emission targets, reduction targets, and developing countries were not given any binding targets. Okay, so it's not developing, developed countries, because rich countries were made responsible for fighting against climate change. So, this is false. Now, Paris Agreement was an exception because Paris Agreement says that it is everyone's responsibility to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, whether you are developed or developing. You all have to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Okay, so in Paris Agreement, developed countries were made solely responsible. Absolutely not. Now, the purpose of the latest climate summit, COP29 at Baku, Azerbaijan, was to resolve the issue of climate finance. What is climate finance? Rich countries have to provide money to developing countries so that they can fight against climate change, easily transition to clean energy technologies, and adapt to climate change. But this issue ideally has not been resolved, or an ideal resolution was not found at COP29. So, this part is correct. Basically, experts have said that COP29 was a disappointment. Okay, and last, which of the following statements are correct regarding Milkman of India, Dr. Verghese Kurian? He received Ramon Magsaysay Award in 1963 for the success of Anand Milk Union Limited. He convinced the head of National Dairy Development Board in 1970 to launch Operation Flood. Okay. So remember, November 26th is not just Constitution Day, it is also National Milk Day. Okay. And it actually also celebrates the birth anniversary of Dr. Verghese Kurian, father of White Revolution of India or Milkman of India, the one who launched Operation Flood, because of which he became the largest producer of milk in the world. Now, Dr. Verghese Kurian rose to fame when, during the late 1950s, he somehow turned around Anand Milk Union Limited, a milk cooperative, and made it successful, made it a model cooperative, and showed the world that India can become a dairy giant. This Anand Milk Union Limited became the brand name Amul, which still goes on and it is very famous. Okay. He won Raman Magsaysay Award for this in 1963. This part is correct. Now, because of the success of Amul, he was made the chairman or head of National Dairy Development Board in 1965. And in 1970, he launched Operation Flood, White Revolution. Okay. So he did not convince NDDB, he was the head of NDDB. So this part is false, only A. And that's about it. With that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I hope it has added value to your preparation. All right. Now, that would be all from my side, guys. I'll see you next time with next day's current affairs through MCQs. Thank you.